In the tapestry of English royal history, King Edmund II, more famously known as Edmund Ironside, emerges as a figure of both valor and tragedy. His reign, brief and embattled, encapsulates a critical juncture in England's medieval past. This biography seeks to explore the life and legacy of a king whose tenure, though short-lived, was pivotal in the shaping of a nation under siege. Edmund Ironside ascended to the throne in a period marred by relentless Viking invasions and internal conflict. The son of Ethelred the Unready, he inherited a kingdom fraught with challenges and divisions. His rule, lasting merely a few months in 1016, was defined by a series of fierce military engagements against Canute the Great, a formidable Norse invader. These conflicts, beyond their immediate martial significance, were instrumental in shaping the future of the English monarchy and the nation's territorial integrity. This biography will journey through Edmund's life from the early days of uncertainty to the tumultuous period of his reign, and finally to his sudden and mysterious death. In examining his strategies, struggles, and the social, political context of the time, we aim to provide a nuanced understanding of a king often overshadowed in history. As we unfold the chapters of Edmund Ironside's life, we uncover the story of a ruler who, despite overwhelming odds, demonstrated remarkable resilience and left an indelible mark on the course of English history. Section 1. Early life and background. Edmund, later known as Ironside for his valor, was born around 989 AD into a royal bloodline that would heavily influence his destiny. Details of his early childhood are sparse, but it is understood that his upbringing was amidst a period of great turmoil and change in England. Born as the second son of King Ethelred the Unready and his first wife, Elfgifu, Edmund's early life was shaped by the shadow of an imminent Viking threat and the complexities of early medieval English politics. Edmund's lineage placed him in the direct line of succession to the English throne. His father, Ethelred, was a monarch marked by indecisive leadership during a period of increasing Viking raids. This era in English royalty was characterized by a struggle to maintain sovereignty in the face of external threats and internal dissension. Edmund's heritage was thus one of a kingdom under siege, a theme that would recur throughout his life and reign. The late 10th century in England was a period of significant upheaval. The country was grappling with the aftermath of the Viking invasions that had commenced in the late 8th century. These invasions had not only brought plunder and destruction, but had also led to the establishment of Viking settlements, particularly in the north of England. The political landscape was fragmented, with various regional lords holding substantial power, often challenging the authority of the king. The Viking invasions played a pivotal role in shaping the early life of Edmund. These incursions were not mere raids, but were part of a larger scheme of conquest and settlement. The infamous St. Brice's Day massacre of 1002, ordered by Ethelred in a failed attempt to rid England of the Viking threat, only intensified the hostilities. Additionally, the internal strife, partly due to Ethelred's inconsistent policies and the powerful nobility's discontent, further weakened the kingdom. This environment of external aggression and internal fragmentation set the stage for Edmund's later life, where he would be thrust into the heart of these conflicts, shaping both his kingship and his legacy. In this complex milieu, young Edmund grew up witnessing the struggles of a kingdom striving to maintain its identity and independence. His early experiences in this turbulent period were foundational in forming the resilient and battle-hardened monarch he would later become. Section 2. Ascension to the throne. The landscape of English politics and power underwent a seismic shift with the death of Ethelred the Unready in April of 1016. Ethelred's passing occurred amid a period of heightened tension and uncertainty, with the kingdom still reeling under the relentless pressure of Viking invasions. His death left a power vacuum that would plunge a nation into a deeper crisis. England, already weakened by internal divisions and external threats, found itself at a crossroads, with throne succession being a matter of both national security and political contention. Ethelred's demise ignited a fierce succession struggle between his son, Edmund Ironside, and the formidable Viking warrior Canute the Great, son of Sweyn Forkbeard, who, for around a year, had held the throne and controlled most of England. Canute, already a seasoned leader with substantial military backing, posed a significant threat to the English succession. Edmund, despite being a legitimate heir, faced the daunting task of consolidating support among the English nobility and military forces, many of whom were demoralized and divided. This struggle for the throne was not merely a contest between two individuals, but symbolized a larger confrontation between the Anglo-Saxon establishment of the House of Wessex and the rising Viking influence. The ensuing conflict was marked by several key battles and political maneuvering, as both Edmund and Canute sought to gain the upper hand in this turbulent period of English history. Despite the formidable challenges, Edmund was eventually crowned King of England in April of 1016, succeeding his father. His coronation, however, was only the beginning of his trials, as he faced the monumental monumental task of defending his kingdom against Canute's advances. The recognition of Edmund as king was not universal, with certain regions and factions favoring Canute. This division reflected the fractured state of England at the time, where loyalty to the crown was often overshadowed by regional interests and the prevailing Viking threat. Edmund's ascension to the throne, therefore, was a complex affair, marred by ongoing conflict and the need for constant military and political engagement. His coronation marked a critical juncture in English history, setting the stage for a brief but impactful reign. In this charged atmosphere, Edmund Ironside emerged as a symbol of resistance, embodying the struggle of a nation striving to uphold its sovereignty against overwhelming odds. Section 3. Edmund's Reign as King. King Edmund Ironside's reign, though brief, was dominated by relentless military conflict, primarily against the formidable Viking forces led by Canute the Great. These conflicts were not only about defending the throne, but also about preserving the very essence of what it meant to be an Anglo-Saxon England. Edmund's reign was essentially a series of military campaigns, where he demonstrated both his strategic acumen and his personal bravery. One of the most pivotal battles during Edmund's reign was the Battle of Ascension, fought in October of 1016. This battle stands as a defining moment in his military career and in the Viking conquest of England. The encounter at Ascension was more than a mere battle. It was a culmination of a series of engagements that had taken place between Edmund and Canute's forces. The battle was marked by intense and brutal fighting, reflective of the high stakes that were involved. Edmund, leading a well-assembled army, demonstrated remarkable leadership and valor. However, despite his efforts, the English forces were ultimately outmaneuvered and defeated by Canute's army. The reason for this defeat has been the subject of much historical debate, with factors such as possible betrayal among Edmund's ranks and the superior tactics of the Vikings being considered. The Battle of Ascension was a turning point, leading to significant consequences for both Edmund's reign and the future of England. Throughout his reign, Edmund's diplomatic endeavors were as crucial as his military campaigns. Understanding the complexities of the period, he sought alliances and fostered relations, not only within his kingdom, but also with neighboring lands and leaders, including those he was in conflict with. The aspect of his reign highlights his recognition of the importance of diplomacy in the face of overwhelming military challenges. The aftermath of the Battle of Ascension led to one of the most significant diplomatic events of Edmund's reign, the Treaty of Olney. This treaty, agreed upon in late 1016 between Edmund and Canute, was a pivotal moment in English history. It effectively divided the kingdom between the two rulers, with Edmund maintaining control over Wessex and Canute taking the rest of England. The Treaty of Olney was a pragmatic decision, reflecting Edmund's understanding of the political and military realities of his time. It was an attempt to bring stability to a kingdom ravaged by years of conflict. However, this division of the realm was not merely a partition of land, but also a symbol of the changing dynamics of power in England, where Viking influence became ever more entrenched. King Edmund Ironside's reign, though short, was a period marked by significant military and diplomatic activities. His efforts in both of these arenas reveal a king deeply committed to the defense and preservation of his kingdom, even in the face of daunting challenges. His legacy in this regard is one of resilience and strategic insight, qualities that defined both his reign and his impact on English history. Section 4. Overall impact. King Edmund Ironside's governance, policies, and historical significance. King Edmund Ironside's reign, though brief and largely overshadowed by military engagements, showed an undercurrent of resilience and adaptability in governance. While specific administrative reforms during his tenure are not extensively documented, his leadership in times of crisis pointed towards a focus on maintaining the kingdom's stability. His efforts were primarily directed towards crisis management, ensuring that the kingdom's administrative framework remained functional despite the relentless Viking threat. The dynamics between Edmund and two of the most influential societal pillars, that being the nobility and the church, were pivotal. Given the era's fragmented political landscape, securing the loyalty and support of the nobility was crucial for maintaining a unified front against external threats. Similarly, the church's role in medieval society as a unifying and legitimizing force was significant. Edmund's interactions with these entities, though not detailed in historical record, were undoubtedly central to his strategy in maintaining internal stability and rallying support against Viking invasion. Economic and social policies during Edmund's reign were inevitably impacted by the ongoing conflicts. The Viking raids had taken a toll on the economy, disrupting trade and agriculture. Socially, the period was fraught with uncertainty and upheaval. Edmund's reign thus focused more on addressing immediate threats and securing the kingdom rather than on long-term economic or social reforms. Edmund Ironside's most significant historical role was his staunch resistance against Viking invasions. His determination determination and military acumen, as demonstrated in various battles, notably the Battle of Ascension, were crucial in defending the realm. This resistance, while not entirely successful in halting Viking advances, exemplified the enduring Anglo-Saxon spirit against formidable odds. Although his reign was extremely short, Edmund's impact on the English monarchy and the feudal system was noteworthy. His struggles against external invasions and internal conflicts laid the groundwork for the subsequent evolution of the English monarchy. The division of the kingdom under the Treaty of Olney, for instance, was a precursor to the eventual unification of England under a single Viking ruler. King Edmund Ironside's legacy extends into historical literature and folklore, where he is often portrayed as a heroic figure, emblematic of resistance and courage. His epithet, Ironside itself, has become synonymous with bravery and resilience. In historical narratives and subsequent retellings, Edmund's life and reign have been romanticized, symbolizing the valorous struggle of a king and his kingdom against overwhelming odds. Section 5. Personal life. King Edmund Ironside's personal life, particularly his marriage and offspring, played a significant role in the continuation of his lineage and the future of the English monarchy. He was married to Ealdgyth, also known as Ulgitha, who was the daughter of the powerful Earl Morcar of Northumbria. This marriage was likely both a personal and political alliance, strengthening Edmund's position amongst the English nobility, particularly in the north. Together they had at least 2 children, Edward the Exile and Edmund. Edward, in particular, played a crucial role in the future dynastic events of England, as his offspring would eventually be integrated into the royal lineage. Edmund Ironside is predominantly remembered for his military prowess and his leadership in times of crisis. Historical accounts portray him as a determined and valiant leader, unflinching in the face of adversity. His epithet, Ironside, is reflective of his reputed toughness and resilience, especially in military matters. As a leader, he was known for his direct approach and his ability to inspire loyalty among his troops, a crucial trait given the constant state of warfare during his reign. Edmund's relationship with both the nobility and the common people was marked by the turbulent times in which he lived. With the nobility, his approach was likely pragmatic, focusing on securing their support and allegiance in the struggle against the Vikings. This was a complex task, considering the diverse and often conflicting interests amongst the noble families. As for the common people, Edmund's reign was seen as a period of resistance against foreign invasion, which likely earned him a degree of popular support. His direct involvement in battles and defense of the realm would have resonated with the populace, who bore the brunt of the Viking incursions. While the specifics of his interactions with the common people are of course not extensively documented, his role as a defender of the kingdom would have shaped their perception of him. Section 6. Death and Succession. King Edmund Ironside's death in November of 1016, merely a few months after ascending to the throne, remains shrouded in mystery and controversy. The circumstances surrounding his demise are unclear, with various historical sources offering different accounts. Some suggest that he died of natural causes, while others imply a more sinister end, potentially an assassination. The exact cause of his death has been a topic of debate amongst historians, reflecting the intrigue and uncertainty that characterized his reign. The untimely death of Edmund Ironside dramatically intensified the succession crisis in England. His demise left the kingdom without a clear Anglo-Saxon successor, paving the way for Canute the Great to consolidate his power over the entire realm. The absence of a strong native ruler followed Edmund's death marked a significant turning point in English history, leading to a period of Danish dominance under Canute. This transition had profound implications for the English monarchy and the feudal structure of the kingdom. Canute's ascension to the throne represented not just a change in leadership, but also a shift in the cultural and political landscape of England, integrating more Norse influence into the fabric of English society and governance. In the immediate aftermath of Edmund's death, the treaty he had signed with Canute, which divided the kingdom, was rendered moot. Canute became the sole ruler of England, bringing about a new era in English history. However, the legacy of Edmund Ironside endured beyond his death. He was remembered as a symbol of resistance against overwhelming odds, a king who fought valiantly to defend his realm against Viking invasions, just like Alfred had done so long ago. Edmund's legacy also continued through his children, particularly Edward the Exile, who would play a role in the future dynastic events of England. His descendants would eventually ascend to the English throne, continuing the illustrious lineage of the House of Wessex. In conclusion, King Edmund Ironside's reign, brief as it was, stands as a poignant symbol of resilience in the face of overwhelming challenges. His tenure, dominated by his struggle against Viking invasions and internal turmoil, showcases a period of intense fortitude and tenacity in English history. Edmund's legacy, marked by his valorous efforts in defense of his kingdom, underscores the complexities of leadership during times of profound crisis. In reflecting upon Edmund Ironside, we are reminded of the indelible impact that determined leadership can have, even in the briefest of reigns. His story, interwoven with themes of courage, conflict, and the relentless pursuit of sovereignty, continues to resonate as a significant chapter in the narrative of England's past. His life and legacy serve as enduring testaments to the enduring human spirit in the face of insurmountable odds.